Hey, it's a damn good time. Woo. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. My name's Steve Schaefer.
I'm Cody Adams.
And I'm Bryant Lyon.
And this is a Damn Good Time podcast. Hit him with it. On this week's episode, we have Bryant Lyon in the studio. We're going to taste Yuengling Black and Tan. And then we're going to have some Buckeye Vodka. We will talk about what's new with the crew this week. And then talk about some of the things that we love to collect, either in the past or currently. So let's have a damn good time. How about it? What you say?
I say let's do it.
Let's do it. Do it.
Do it.
Been ready all week, you know?
Nice. I'm ready too. So yeah, let's get this started, Cody. Let's talk about your week. How's it been? How you doing?
Busy as hell, man. I mean, I got less than 2 months and ticking till these twins come out. So I've just been, tearing the spare bedroom apart, getting that ready. It's just about there. I gotta get some carpet laid down. Do all that. I painted the floor last night with some of that odor killer paint.
Okay.
Because my old dog Lana, rest her soul, she had diabetes and she liked to pee a lot on the carpet.
Yeah.
And it kind of got on the subfloor a little bit.
Permeates.
Yeah. So I put a bunch of peroxide on it. That helped kill it a little bit. Nobody else could smell it but me for some reason. I apparently have a heightened sense of smell. So I bought some of this odor killer stuff, and I will say it works fabulous. It goes on white as can be, but dries clear. It's weird. It's almost like you got a lacquer on it.
That's kind of cool.
But it works wonderful.
Illusion.
Yeah. So if you got a house and you buy a house and it's got an old smell of cat pee or something, cat pee's the worst too. That shit smells bad. You can't get rid of it ever. I recommend it.
But that stuff does.
Oh, yeah.
You know it's going to be wild for you?
What's that?
When you stop referring to it as the spare bedroom, and it's like, oh, it's the kids' room.
It's the kids' room.
It's the nursery.
Yeah. It used to be the dog's room. Now it's going to be the kids' room. So that's why I had to gut it out, replace the carpet, do all that. So yeah. But other than that, just busy at work, busy at home, just getting ready, man.
Just laying and slaying.
Yeah, nesting engaged.
Hell yeah, dude.
How about you? How's your week?
Oh, my week's been pretty good. Work went relatively fast. It feels like, or it was like Monday yesterday, but it's the end of the work week for me. 3-day weekend
Lucky
coming up,
dog.
baby. Just driving my forklift around, doing my thing,
Yeah.
Didn't kill anybody, didn't wreck anything, so that's
Wins.
Yeah,
Those are all wins.
That's a good week for me.
I feel like this week, like when I do projects around the house, like I feel like the weekend's the next day because I get home from work and then I just keep working and then I'm like, oh, I normally do it on the weekends, but I'm like, oh wait, no, it's like Tuesday.
Right.
I'm like, I gotta keep working. Crap.
Keep doing stuff.
Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. It's Friday, yeah. So I get to sit in front of the computer for 6 hours in meetings, but yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That sounds stupid.
Yeah. But at least I don't have to drive far to a meeting now. It's just virtual meetings still. So
That's
Virtual
good.
meetings.
Yeah.
Welcome to the 21st century.
Yeah, thanks, COVID.
It's kind of more efficient though.
Yeah.
I mean, I get to save gas money, all that, but
It's different. It's definitely different.
Right.
yeah.
And actually, come to think of it, we probably should have done this first instead of getting into our weeks. We should have introduced this guy.
Oh yeah.
We've got Bryant Lyon into the studio with us. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first off, gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be here. I've been wanting to have a damn good time for quite some time.
Awesome.
Excited.
Hell yeah.
Again, my name is Bryant Lyon. Fun fact, I am your brother-in-law.
Yep.
So, doing well. I know these guys quite well. But yeah, I don't know quite necessarily what to say about myself, but
You're an avid hunter.
yeah, I'm an avid hunter. I work for a company called America's Best Bowstrings. It's fairly local here in the outdoor and archery industry. It's a great job. I am the vice president of marketing.
Ooh.
Big title came my way
right.
just this past spring. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. I like what I do.
kind of a cool
it's
power
really
title.
fun. Yeah, it's something.
That's
It
fucking
is a
dope.
power title.
I didn't even know you were a VP.
Yeah, VP,
Hot
dude.
damn.
VP.
Working that way up. Hitting that grind.
And then I know this isn't your first podcast though either, is it?
This is not. I've done a few. And they're fun. I love them. I love having conversation with people about different things. More often, I do it in the workspace, which can sometimes you're just kind of talking the same things to different audiences. So
right.
It's cool though. I do love getting on the podcasts, and it's fun stuff.
Yeah. It's nice having a conversation.
Now you're basically just talking to both of our families and a bunch of degenerates, so it's fine.
Well,
you can reach out to a whole 60 listeners.
It's okay. I still love you all, and I'll still enjoy this as if we're talking to 5 million.
We're still building.
Episode
It's
24.
Building.
One of these
episode
days.
24. We've done this for 24 straight weeks now.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Consistency. Hats off, gentlemen.
Yep.
That's the hard part.
Absolutely. That is. That's the part that'll make or break you. I do follow like some podcast threads on Reddit, and they even say like, when I started, I was good at it, like steady for a year, and then we went on hiatus, and now we're back, and it's like, and they even say like, don't stop, just don't stop, because it's harder to get back into the rhythm.
Yep.
So we just got to keep the rhythm.
Find that groove and stay in it.
Keep the rhythm going. But yeah, so that's the introduction, and then let me ask, how was your week? Do you have anything cool, fun happen to you?
Well, it's been very busy, to say the least. This is our busiest time of year with work, but then once work's done, me and my wife, we bought our first house, and we have been painting some of the rooms.
Yeah.
This is all new to me, is owning the house and getting stuff out, and I get home, I'm belly down on the carpet painting the trim, trying to make it happen.
Yeah.
But it's just been a lot of busy trying to keep everything ready. Got the move coming up this weekend, so busy.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats on the first home. Yeah,
Thank you.
That's a big move,
Yeah, it was a big move, and maybe, from what everybody told us, it's like the hardest time to buy a house.
Yeah.
And I believe them.
They ran you through the ringer getting this one in.
Yep. So I'll be pretty battle tested once we go to the second one.
Yeah.
And market is rough.
Being a homeowner is a blessing, and I love it, but there is that curse side of it. Like you said, you're like, oh, it's new to me to like paint. And like right now it seems fun until like something breaks and you're just like, oh, I got to fix this.
That is the scariest thing.
I can't just call a landlord.
No, you can't. And it's like, well, what's the bank account look like? And it's not so great right now. So
that's where you call your friends, and then the people that have owned a home for a long time say, "Hey,
I know.
You ever do this?
I know a few things.
You learn to fix things. YouTube is your best friend.
That's what I'm being told.
Yep. YouTube it all.
I became a washer and dryer repairman. I know how to plumb. I've done electrical now. All the fun things that you never thought about before, and it's like, oh yeah.
You've worked on dryers?
Oh yeah.
My dryer door's not shutting. I might need your help.
I got you.
Nice. Nice. I keep meaning to YouTube it and whatnot, but I just haven't got around to that part yet.
Yeah.
Because I'm always too busy having a damn good time, even when the camera's off.
Roll credits? No.
It's normally the old school ones too that I'm best at, but
yeah,
I've been learning the newer ones now.
Well, this is a newer one. We used to have like the front loader. Well, I mean, I think all dryers are front loaders. We used to have like the nicer front loader washer and the dryer that matched it and shit. Yeah. And they went to shit faster. So we got like a regular top loading washer and like a regular ass dryer. We didn't spend much money on it. So far, they've been kicking ass, except for this little door issue I got right now. But other than that, I feel like I like the older style better than the newer stuff. Like.
Yeah, honestly, like you have to think about it though too. Is that stuff was probably built a little better back in even just a couple years ago might have been built better.
Right.
I think that's what you see there is you get into some of this newer stuff and
there's too much technology in it.
I'll tell you right now, I know your problem. Not enough duct tape.
That's how we've been keeping it close. Is like duct tape, though. That's exactly how we've been keeping it close. So.
You pile up the laundry basket right in front of it. Stay there.
Easy.
All right. So. I got my list.
Steve's list. There we go.
Steve's list.
Hot topics.
I want to start out with. Let me start it with a fun fact that I learned on the internet this week.
Okay.
So, Arnold Schwarzenegger, whenever he first came out, and when like the big hits were the Terminator 1 and 2, I learned that because of his Austrian accent, like apparently he's from like a rural area, so he's I guess like a hillbilly in Austria's eyes or whatever. They wouldn't let him read the German dub over for the German release of the Terminators.
Really?
because they said his accent was so different that it would sound weird sending a robot back in time with like a hillbilly accent. So it'd be like if we were the stars, or if it was like a German-made movie and it was an American actor in it, they couldn't dub over because they'd be like, "I'll be back, y'all."
Could you I can't wrap my head around that fact right now.
Come with me if you want to live,
dude. It's Arnold. It's signature, man. Yeah. It's signature.
I'm a cybernetic organism.
I don't know why you're a female hillbilly.
Yeah, it's starting to go in the feminine route there.
I don't know. Maybe I need a more low southern drawl.
Yeah, maybe
I'll be back.
There you go.
Well, we're from Tuscarawas County, so we have our own accent. If you didn't know this, and the craziest story when I was like 19, I think I was in when I went up to Michigan and I worked on Mackinac Island. So I worked on the small island, horse and buggy. I know I talked about it before when my face planted in pee.
The horse piss episode.
Yeah. I was on the island and I worked at the golf course and this guy was going golf and he goes, "You from Ohio?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You're from Tuscarawas County, aren't you?" And right there I just said, "Aren't you?"
Ain't you?
He's like, "I could tell by a few words you just said." And I was like, "That's crazy." And apparently this guy must have been a master linguist or something. But he knew
linguist even.
He knew what county I was from in Ohio.
Yeah.
Now maybe he's a creeper and he research me before. I don't know. The internet was pretty decent back then.
That was like his way to break the ice.
Yeah.
I bet you're from Tuscarawas County, aren't you?
All defenses are down at that point. Like, how'd you know?
Yeah. But
all of a sudden, Cody's pants are on the ground.
Take this pill. Here's $1,000.
Oh, them Tuscarawas County boys are easy.
Yeah. But yeah, so crazy. Yeah, but I understand that. Like, especially in a different dialect and a different language.
When
how that can translate.
I've heard before too that like this area of like Ohio is one with like the least accent out of anywhere else in the United States. Like you get up north, it starts sounding a little different. You get down south, obviously, and like east to west, like everybody else seems to have accents, but in this area, we're like the most normal speaking, I guess you could say. Like we don't have that drawl or that twang or
Yeah, it makes sense. So it's like that's like when you're saying it's just when he picked you out of Tuscarawas County out of Ohio, it's like. I mean, I've heard that a little bit, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think maybe it's just a couple phrases or something I said. I don't know. But I pick up on accents real like
right.
I spent 3 months in Australia and I was like, I came back and everybody's like, "What?"
Right. Oh, man. Can you tell the difference between New Zealand and Australia?
Oh, yeah.
See, I can't. See, I mean, we do international orders and calls and stuff, and it's like I have to play that little game. Is this Australian or is this New Zealand?
I've heard it because I watched a show called Flight of the Conchords.
I love Flight of the Conchords.
And they're New Zealanders, and they sound, now that I've heard them talk a lot, it's like, okay, they sound the same, but they are different than like when you hear Australian people talk like
Kiwi.
Like Steve Irwin and shit,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have to say it because this is like one of my favorite things that me and Chrissy still do. Chrissy, my wife. There's an episode where Murray is talking to I can't think of his name. Is Dave? I think it's Dave, and he's like something happened to Jermaine,
the pawn shop
and
guy?
They're like, maybe he did. He's like, maybe he did what? And he's just like, no, he maybe did. And he just kept saying it. He's like, yeah, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. What did he maybe do?
Maybe he did.
He's trying to say dead, but it's great.
Right.
Gosh, that show is so good.
It was hilarious.
As the Australians would call the New Zealanders the Kiwis, and it might be vice versa.
Vice versa. Is that a T County word? Reverse visa.
It almost seemed like the New Zealanders had a little more tang in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I met
more twang
both in Australia, so I had them side by side, so it was easy to tell. But it's also easier when you're in person and they're speaking to you.
Yeah.
And then I already know this guy's from New Zealand too, so I can say I know the difference, but on the phone, you probably don't.
Yeah, it's a little difficult on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, accents are weird.
And I was dealing with Australians every day too.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with an accent every day, then you know it.
Yeah.
And then now I couldn't tell.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So
a few years.
But yeah, so that's one
Getting
thing.
old.
That's one thing I learned on the internet. Know what else? Oh, this week Bezos went to space. Old Jeffy Bezos flew a penis-shaped rocket into space. Like it couldn't have looked any more like it did. Have you seen? Are you familiar?
I didn't see it. No.
You did not?
No.
He went. It was like a whole 20-minute flight, and I think they spent 10 minutes like in what you would actually call space, and then they returned back to Earth, and he's still alive. So that's a success. They took some 87-year-old woman up, so she's officially the oldest woman in space. They took a 17-year-old kid up, so he's officially the youngest person in space, and then his brother. And then also there's like the third seat was auctioned off, the one that's the 17-year-old kid, or I guess you'd call it the fourth seat. It was auctioned off for like $26 million, and the person that got it, they just last minute they're like, "Oh, I got other plans."
Yeah, that
like, oh man, oh sorry, I forgot. I'm
talk about fuck you money if I've ever heard it. I just blown $26 million. I'm out. I don't need to go.
And they were, of course, it said they were unnamed, but they're like, yeah, I got you know what? I just can't make it. So the second place bidder was the kid's father, so he sent his kid to space for probably $26 million.
Gosh.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it was 26. I'm pulling that one off the top of my head. It might be different, but it was up there, like a lot, at least 26, if not higher.
Isn't there, where did I hear this? Some girl going to Mars and probably never coming back.
Yes. I forget.
Or a whole thing, but
I don't know if we talked about that on last episode or if that was something me, you, and Jordan talked about off air.
Oh, yeah. That's where I heard about this. That's right. I don't think we talked about it in the episode.
I don't think so either.
Now I remember Jordan was telling us about it because he knew of somebody that, like, oh, maybe we're supposed to talk about it. Maybe that's why.
Probably, yeah, we probably not. Yeah.
We should probably cut right
Don't go. No, we're still allowed to talk about it. It's a thing on the internet.
Okay.
Of why
his girlfriend
going to
be
space.
The first human on Mars. And
she's currently 17 years old.
Yeah.
She's going to go up on Elon Musk's SpaceX rocket launch. And her name is Alyssa Carson from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah.
So, and that's going to happen for the 2033 Mars 1 mission. So,
do you have a desire to go to space?
I mean, it'd be cool, but I mean, until they find something like super cool out there, like I'd like to see the view of like all the stars, but like I don't know, like it put me like halfway up.
At this point in my life, like to Mars, if it's something where I know I'm going and I'm staying, no. But like if I was just to go up in orbit, because even the guy from Virgin Mobile or Virgin Airlines,
Richard Branson, he made it to space like a week and a half ago even, and on his shit. But that one's more like a jet, and it gets you to it. Yeah.
And then it like comes back down on descent.
Right.
That I'd feel more comfortable with instead of a rocket straight up that then just falls back and parachutes down. That sounds a little more sketchy. Or even Elon's fucking rockets that free fall until they kick in a rock, they engage thrusters, and it straightens the thing out, and it slowly comes down and just lands. That shit's nuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That stuff sounds... I'd probably rather do the Virgin jet flight thing.
Yeah, see, for a guy who's terrified of the thought of getting in a plane, I've never gotten a plane. So
really?
The thought of going in a rocket to space... Like, I guess here's the thing. The timing of it is so fast, I would assume, that it happens like, almost before you know it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the thought of space scares the bejesus out of me too, because it's just it's nothing. It's not nothing, but it's crazy to think about. It's endless. It's endless.
Right.
Like you think of the ocean, you're like, on the other side of that is Europe.
Yeah,
you're looking in space, you're like, there's stuff just jumbled around here. We have no idea what's out there.
Yeah.
What's your biggest fear on a plane? Why won't you get a plane?
Dude, I can't say that I'm like terrified. I'm scared of heights. I am scared of heights, which is weird because I can actually climb up in a tree like 20 foot and not really care. Mm-hmm. Getting into big buildings and high up, and the thought of flying, like it being in a plane and you're in a tube, you're way up there. It freaks me out. It's just the thought of it.
See, I love flying.
If I ever get on a plane, I mean, this is how it works, and I've told my boss this and everything. It's like, listen, if I ever get on a plane, if like you pay the tickets, everything like that, my wife has to go. like she is gonna level me out as best as possible, and
Right.
like because I'm just thinking of it, it freaks me out.
Right. Some special gummies.
Yeah, something like
even
she
heard-
can be like she can be like, listen, Brian, get a grip, okay? We're gonna be okay. Like
Yeah.
at least if she's there, I'm like, at least she's here with me. Now if they send her to like a different seat or something like that,
Right.
we got some issues.
Right. Well, yeah, my first flight, I was nervous, but I wasn't afraid.
Right.
But even it was me and Sarah were going to our honeymoon to Vegas, and when we get on the plane, somebody's in my seat, and I'm like, no, this is my ticket. I'm like, and then even the stewardess like, well, would you mind like sitting back there? And I'm like, no, I'm sitting beside my wife. First off, this is our honeymoon. Second off, like, I've never been on a plane before. I'm sitting beside my wife. You know, like I want my buddy there with me. You know, I need my friend.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have somebody, there. I mean, when you're talking to the stranger beside you, they're like, oh God, like freak them out.
Right. And then that person's just like, are you afraid we're going to crash? Like, fuck
Yeah,
shut up.
say the word crash. Let's do that. Let's start there. It's a good starting point.
Yeah.
Now you get on a flight, right? Which is a feat of man, right? We've mastered the air, right? Or at least a kind of traveling around. And every time I get on a flight, you try to enjoy it, but they cram us all in there now because, hey, they're going to make their money.
Yeah.
But then there's always 2 assholes on every flight, at least
Yeah.
one for sure, that either they have to rush from the back as fast as they can because they need off that plane.
We've talked about that on a podcast.
Yeah. It's not a connecting flight. I've wanted to hit so many people. Or it's,
me too, all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And you've never even been on it.
I've not been on a plane.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm still on the ground, boys.
Or like people just don't realize the majestic. Like it's
Right.
like you're in a thing that flies. It used to be damn party back like
Right.
70s and 80s when you got on a plane.
Back then, like you see pictures of coach and it looks like it's first class. Like now you have 0 leg room, and you always see pictures of people back then. They got their cigarettes and they got a big plate of nice food in front of them. It was like an event,
Yeah,
and now it's just like get the
champagne.
fuck in this thing, go the fuck over to the other side of the country, sit down, shut up, and just get there. Be uncomfortable. We all are. Fuck off.
Oh.
Like
Yep.
that's the worst part of it.
Yep. So you guys are you're backing everything up for me right now. Like,
Nah, but when you
Upgrade,
do it,
upgrade, upgrade to the business class. I
Yeah.
did that once, and you just have more room.
when I did an international flight, so when I flew from LA to New Zealand, that was a big plane. You had it was a huge plane, so you had plenty of leg room.
Yeah.
You got movies playing, you got service all the time, because it was like a 14-hour flight.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now they're like, oh, you're only going 6 hours. Shut the fuck
I've seen
up.
some of these ones that have beds in the cabins. It looks
Yeah,
like
I'm sure that shit's crazy.
That's
fucking
first class
expensive.
all the way. Yeah.
Maybe I could get on board with something like that, but I don't think my checkbook could. So
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
That's a premium.
yeah.
A little bit of premium.
Yeah.
Now you're paying a little bit of premium just to get an aisle seat or a little
If I was
extra
by a
leg
window,
room.
oh my gosh, guys, See, I'm gonna be tunnel vision. Look forward. Don't look out the window. Don't look out the
See,
window.
I've always liked the window more.
Oh, I
And
couldn't
plus,
do it.
too, with the window, if you want to, you can shut it, right?
Yeah.
And
it
if
would
you
be
want
shut.
to, and if you want to just drink a few cocktails and pass the fuck out, you can at least lean your head
Put your head
against.
against-
Yeah.
yeah.
You can lean your head against the wall. Whereas if you're in a middle seat or an aisle seat, you have to learn to sleep straight up because you can't. When you put your seat back, it only goes this far.
Uh-huh. See, I think here's the other thing. I'm unaware if alcohol would increase the anxiety on a plane or if it would help mellow me out.
They don't mellow you out.
You think?
It mellows me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on alcohol.
It-
It kicks you, but
Yeah.
There's
to me,
a.
it's psh.
I know there's comedian Burt Kreischer's been on a bunch of podcasts talking about how he's getting better at it, but he used to pop a Xanax and have 4 fucking Tito's before you even take off, and then he could just sleep the whole
Yeah.
time.
Like some Dramamine. So we go some back roads and we go to Indy for the ATA trade show, and I'll pop a Dramamine, for motion sickness because I can get motion sick. But I ended up I popped 2 the last time we went there, and I was just that I probably could get through then because I was just not there.
Right.
Everybody was having a blast with me. I'm in Wendy's. I didn't even know I was in Wendy's. I'm just eating and just hi everybody.
Maybe I need to try Dramamine just for fun. I don't think
Just for funsies.
I don't think I've ever had Dramamine.
A Benadryl will knock me out, but 2
Yeah.
Dramamine did me in.
Yeah.
That's why I always get to the airport nice and early. Go sit down at the bar next to your terminal, your
Mhm.
closest bar. They always have one open
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
they know what terminals are going out. So they always open up that bar. You sit there and you have a few drinks, you BS, then you go get on the plane. Last one's on the plane, and then everybody's already in there through their groove and through their stuff.
And if you're not going to have a window seat to kneel on or lean on, get you a neck pillow, because I've woke up after sleeping like 4 hours like this.
Yeah.
And my fucking neck just hurts
dude.
so bad. Because like I said, there's no leaning back in them anymore. It only goes this far.
You would think that they would just get more comfortable as we go, right?
No, because they're just trying to fit more people on them, get more profits per flights.
It's terrible.
Yeah. So,
unless you pay the money, then you can get on the most comfy seat you want.
Yeah. Or you pay $26 million and you go to fucking space.
There you go.
With Jeff Bezos.
So as we circle back to all this.
Yeah, we just went from space to airplanes. Well, that's the closest I want to get, I guess.
Yep. Other fun thing that happened this week, there was a trailer release for the new Jackass movie. And I'm excited because I fucking love those dudes. Like, they're so funny. Fucking Steve-O's awesome. I swear, even the last one, it was 3.
3D. I think it was.
Me and Sarah saw it in the theater with the 3D glasses and shit.
Geez.
So they had stunts set up to like represent that, and it was pretty cool. But I swear Johnny Knoxville's trying to die in one of these movies.
Yeah,
like,
you would think.
He's just not afraid of shit. Like, he's standing in front of bulls that could fucking kill him, and he's like just standing there, and he lets him toss him in the fucking air, and somehow he bounces off and nothing happens. But like, he's got fucking super silver hair right now. Like,
I saw
Steve-O's sober. I think they're all sober, actually. Fucking Bam Margera's not going to be in this one because he couldn't get sober.
Yeah.
So, because he's off his fucking rocker nowadays. Like, it's kind of sad to see, but I mean, obviously Ryan Dunn's not going to be there. He's dead. But,
I think with a lot of them dying out and, the problems they had with their money, like, a lot of them are just like,
it's kind of why it makes sense. There's another one coming out because how many years has it been since the third one? They're like, we need some money.
I know Steve-O does stand-up comedy acts and he does podcast shit. I'm sure he's still got revenue. I'm sure Johnny Knoxville probably doesn't have to worry about money.
Some of those guys, obviously.
Some of the second and third tier ones, I'm sure they're probably like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'll light fireworks out my ass for this. Yeah, let's go.
It's crazy. There's probably people that are like, "What is Jackass?" Think about that. It's not on TV anymore. Like when I watched it when it was on TV.
Right.
Yeah. They come out with movies, but now it's like, "What is Jackass?" There's people that will ask that question.
In college, I grew my hair out and dyed it blonde and grew a beard so I could look like Ryan Dunn because he was my favorite. That was before he passed. And I even remember being at parties like. I'd have a trick where I could break a bottle over my head and like fucking, and I was jumping off of roofs in the bushes and shit just because I was like, I idolized those dudes. Like
shove a Hot Wheels car up your ass.
I did not do that. I did not do that. That came out more of after my idolizing phase of them. So, but if it was guys, check this out. Let's go get an X-ray. Probably not.
I watched you fail trying to break that bottle over your head and knock yourself off too.
Yeah, it hurts worse when it doesn't break.
I'm sure. I'm sure it's like a club.
Yep. Boom. Even one time I got scars on my ears from because you got to follow through, and I'd always wear a beanie so that with the follow through, like I was protected. But this time I was at a party and I was saying that I could do it, and somebody's like, "No, the fuck you can't." I'm like, "Yes, the fuck I can." I'm like, $20 says you can't. I'm like, all right. And I didn't have a beanie. So the follow through just shredded my ear.
Oh.
I started bleeding everywhere. It was awesome. And I told my mom and dad, if they're watching this, I think I might have come out about this already. But if not, here's the real story. Or here's the lie I told them. I was like, we were at Josh Longinette's party, and I was like, we were wrestling in the basement, and I fell into a lamp.
Solid story. Right. I bet they bought it.
They did. Like, we were wrestling. We were wrestling in the basement, and like, I got thrown over here, hit my head, and the lamp busted, and it cut up my ear,
Right. Yeah, it was just like, oh, well, next time we learn our lesson, we don't wrestle in the
basement. Mom's like, you should have went to the hospital. You need stitches. I'm like, well, should I go now? And she's like, no. Because we didn't have health insurance either. So. She's like, no, it stopped bleeding, and you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Let's not make a big stink about it. We're going to be okay. Yeah. It'll scar up, scab up.
Yeah, good. Love the Jackass. Love the Jackass, and I'm looking forward to the new movie coming out, so.
It'll be interesting, I'm sure.
For sure.
Last two things on my list I want to talk about. They're both food gripes. Because I love griping about food. Chipotle, go fuck yourself. Your queso sucks. Have you ever had the queso from Chipotle?
I have not.
It tastes like shit.
I was late to the whole Chipotle party, guys. I'm going to be honest. It's weird. Yeah.
Well, you can still join it. It's we have one in Philly now, which is
I know.
awesome.
That's when I picked up on the party. Like
Okay.
we had the one in Canton. It was like, well, let's go to Chipotle. I'm like, is it like why? Like what is it? Because I'm like
Canton.
Gosh, I hate things when they're in. Like when everybody's like, gotta do this, gotta do that. It's just like I'll stay back and I'll watch, and then I'll come into it about 10 years too late. And then that's me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's pretty decent. I enjoy Chipotle. It's not as good as some of the others out there, but we don't have any others in our area. If you go to Canton, go to Moe's. I think they're 10 times better than Chipotle. And their queso's 10 times better because Chipotle's queso fucking blows. It's just, it tastes like nothing. It's terrible.
I've seen you post this on Facebook before.
Yeah.
I don't know what their queso tastes like. I can't ever say.
I posted it this week, and then I wanted to talk about it on the show.
Last time I went to Chipotle was probably like a year ago. I don't ever seek out Chipotle. Because at the end of the day, it's just cilantro rice and some beef. And
it's a giant burrito. I mean, it's good.
I DoorDash that stuff all the time now.
Yeah.
It's so good. I missed it.
Add on queso just so you can see.
I'll try it.
Yeah. I want you to call me up and be like, you were right, Steve.
I'll do a FaceTime with you or like a video message and be like, we're going to do this. And you're going to see my live reaction.
Right.
And I'm going to go, it fucking sucks, Steve. You were right.
You'd be like, it's delicious. Like, you're dead to me. You're fucking dead to me.
Oh, now that I know that information, it's not happening.
If he didn't say anything to you, it probably wouldn't be the worst thing you ever had. But now that you did, now it's going to be like, this is terrible queso.
Set up in my head now.
No, like it's. I mean, if you want queso, go to any of the number of regular Mexican restaurants around here. Any of the El San Jose's or El Tlaquepaque, like that's 10 times better.
And have Land O'Lakes extra melt American cheese. That's what you're getting.
Yeah. And it's delicious.
Yeah,
it's so fucking delicious.
You know how much I sell of that? Cases upon pounds upon pounds.
Yeah, Chipotle queso sucks. Come at me if you don't agree. I dare you. The other food gripe I've got is stop calling everything street food if you're not selling it on the street. I've seen so many things where like, oh, Mexican street corn. It's like, no, I'm eating it inside. And I mean,
street tacos.
Yeah, there's street tacos on how many menus right now? No, we're eating them inside. Like, I could get it if you're like, yeah, we got street tacos going on. Would you like it? I'm like, sure. I'm like, well, here's your plate. Go outside. They're whipping them up for you out there. I'm like, all right, cool. And then you stand there and eat because that's like the street meats, the street thing. You're supposed to just be walking down the street and then you get, oh yeah, fuck yeah, there's a little vendor. I get it. You don't go to a restaurant and get a hot dog and call them street hot dogs because they have plenty of those out on the street.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've never heard of
street hot dog.
I'm gonna market the shit out
like
of
it. I was gonna say if you didn't say that, I'm saying it next, buddy.
You're gonna go next week into your customers. I got the next big thing. Street hot dog. Like, what's that? I'm like, it's a hot dog and a bun with ketchup and mustard. And
sometimes relish.
Yes, and relish if they want it.
Or if you really want to get crazy, there's that coney sauce.
Yeah, you're 100% right, though. People are over-marketing shit. They're selling in their establishments as street food. And yes, some of it was established on the street because it was like, hey, they stuck a stick in a piece of corn and did that. But they're taking basic recipe, a basic taco, a basic this, and calling it a street taco. And it's not. That's a taco.
So what makes it a street taco, though? Like if it was a legit street taco?
Well, you get it on the street.
Yeah.
So it's just like a vendor on the street, maybe like out of a cart or a food truck, something like that. Okay, that makes sense.
And even like the one that really gets me is the Mexican street corn because I never thought, I don't even think it comes from the street. It's just the way Mexicans eat corn a lot of the time. Yeah. It's corn. And the first time I ever had it was when we lived in Louisville, Kentucky. We went to this Mexican fiesta thing for one of their many Independence Days. It wasn't Cinco de Mayo. It was a different one. And they gave us corn, and they're like, you got to do it like this. And they smeared mayonnaise on it. I'm like, what the fuck? Smeared mayonnaise on it. And they just had like the Kraft Parmesan cheese, but I'm sure there's a different kind that you should put on it.
Manchego.
At the La Tienda.
Kraft Parmesan cheese, chili powder. Put that shit in my mouth. It was so fucking good. It's amazing. But now everybody puts like mayonnaise, their manchego cheese, and chili powder on it. And they even take it off the cob and put it in a little dish for you, a nice little bowl with a spoon. And they call it fucking street corn.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No.
I mean, unless we're wrong. I mean, Google it. Maybe it did come from the streets of Mexico, and that's how they did it.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that.
So street food in my mind is definitely going to be handheld. It's something you're always eating with your hands. It's nothing you put into a bowl. If they're cutting that down in a bowl, it's corn.
Yeah.
It's corn and mayonnaise at that point.
Yeah.
Corn aioli.
Or like even like street tacos, they should serve it to you. Like the server should just come out and like give you a slap of parchment paper, and you don't have a plate. Like you just have to eat it with your fucking hands, and like you make a mess on yourself because that's the thrill of street meats. Like you're on the go. Like go to a vendor, get your shit. And you're walking like to the next store. You're walking to the markets and shit. And you're slamming a taco.
Yeah.
And
Stuff you eat at 2 a.m. when the bar's closed, and you're running down the street, like you're walking back to your apartment, and this guy like, here's some street falafel.
He opens up his
I've
coat.
never heard of a street falafel either.
Right.
And when you hear of street food, by the way, I would think it actually comes more into the Spanish or Oriental category over anything else.
I think there's some European, because it used to be, remember Bizarre Foods was Andrew Zimmern.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'd have a few restaurants that were like the highlight ones, and they'd have these weird dishes. But between the restaurants, they'd walk around and they were on the street and they'd get street vendor food. But nobody called it street meats or
Yeah, exactly.
Even back then, he wasn't like, we're gonna go get this this kebab from this vendor, street meat. And then they're sitting there, he's trying it, and he's like, this is goat's balls, and it's like, it wasn't street goat's balls.
Right.
This is goat's balls.
Right. But that's my last gripe.
You know how it is.
If you're not gonna serve it on the street, don't call it street food. Yeah. You could probably even get away with it in like a taco truck, sure, because you're eating it out of a parking lot. That's cool, but
it's the marketing aspect. I mean, that's literally what you're getting with that. It's let's 100%. Market it to the younger people or whomever to just it makes them feel like I'm doing this. I'm with it.
I'm eating this pavement.
They're posting a picture
Marketing
of
101.
Real nice table and a real nice plate presentation. And they're like, #street meats. I'm like, fuck off. Pull your finger out of your ass.
It's called a restaurant. We've been calling it that for a while.
Street tacos, but I'm eating in my house with 4 walls around me.
Indoor, I don't have indoor corn,
like, I'm a start trend.
Well, now that they've went to space, there will be space tacos.
Space tacos. There you go.
Yeah. You've heard it here first. Get ready for the first ever street hot dogs.
We're getting some ideas. We may have to start copyrighting our shows. Maybe create some ideas. Street dogs coming at you.
Yep, that's it for Steve's list.
All right, I like Steve's list. That was fun.
So this week we are going to be tasting Black and Tan from Yuengling.
Boom, boom, pow.
Have either of you ever had this beer?
Yes. I want to say a while ago I did. I actually think we had it at my wedding reception. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think I've had it before. Yuengling was one of those ones I remember. It was such the rage, such the hype, like because at first you couldn't get it in Ohio, so everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to Pittsburgh or we're going to Pennsylvania." While we're there, we're picking up cases of Yuengling. You want some? And I'm like, "Nah, I don't really care that much, I guess." But if you got Everclear, get me that, But and then it came to the States and it blew up, or the States. It came to Ohio. And it was like all the rage.
It was.
Everybody had it on tap. Everybody had it in cans and bottles at every bar.
We had a whole Yuengling party at the restaurant when it first came out. Like I did a whole menu for that.
Yeah, I think we did some like braised sausages in the Black and Tan.
Yeah, we did or the porter.
Yeah, could have been the porter too.
Put like 2 or 3 beers on draft. We did Yuengling beer batter. We did Yuengling like braised short ribs. Did like all kinds of different stuff. It was a big hit. We were at that point in time doing like 2 or 3 Yuengling beers on tap because everybody's going nuts over it, right? Everybody's went ham nuts over it. And I remember probably 6 months later, nobody gave a shit about it anymore.
Right. Yep. It had its moment. I think, what year was this? Do you guys remember?
Oh man, Steve, Google that.
It had to be around 2011, maybe.
I mean, that's good looking.
Because I remember. I mean, my wedding anniversary is in 2012. Is June of 2012 there, and I know that it was like new when we got the keg because we were like, we got a Yuengling keg, guys.
Yeah,
September of 2011.
Ooh, I was on.
Yeah,
so pretty close. Yeah, September 11. Oh wait, 2011.
Yeah, it was September 11. It doesn't give me. September 9th, 2011.
Okay.
So
yeah, I remember like a lot of people talking about it, and they were all excited. And they're like, "You got to get it! You got to get it!" And then we got it in, and it sold like crazy. Yeah. So I even had the rep that sold it for us brought it in. He brought in all these different kinds, talked about it. It was a cool party, a really cool party. now I can't say that I know a lot of people that really care about it anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean it's a good beer. All the stuff that they have is good, but it's not. It wasn't one of those things that I like had a boner for like everybody else did. You know.
Well, if you talk to your dads, you know,
Yeah.
it used to be Coors Light was the same way. You couldn't get. I'm pretty sure it was Coors Light. You couldn't get. Well, not Coors Light. Coors.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
Coors.
just Coors in
You
general.
couldn't get Coors in Ohio, and people go on trips and bring this beer back, and now it's just, oh, I might drink Coors Light. I mean, nobody drinks straight Coors anymore.
My mouth's watering thinking about a Coors Light right now, Cody. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds good.
We might have one floating around on one of these coolers.
Oh, I'm sure there is, because that's what I drink. So, like, you know, you go through your face as light beer, but, you know, anyways.
And so then this is Yuengling's version of a black and tan, which
Black and
traditionally is a pale ale or lager, and then a stout or porter, basically a light beer and a dark beer. If you order it in a bar, it's supposed to be layered. You'll have the light on the bottom and the dark on top. This obviously isn't layered, so I guess they just mix.
They just mix it to make kind of
You can definitely taste the porter in it for sure. I think the porter like kind of overtakes all of the flavors.
If you mix it together, like, you're done already. Like, it's done. It's supposed to be just like a light porter. Is what it's supposed to be.
For a dark beer, I have to be honest, it's not bad.
No,
I'm not a super dark beer guy, but this is not bad.
No, it's. I mean, like I say, it's a light porter. Like that's
Yeah.
Maybe that's why, because of the.
That's really what
it's supposed to be like your stepping stone
Yeah.
to dark beer. Then
Yep.
I guess
Yeah.
you know.
And then also the other thing to talk about Yuengling is they market that they're the oldest brewery in the United States.
Oh really?
Yes. You don't have to look anywhere. You can really look at the bottle.
Oh,
America's oldest brewery.
since 1829.
Yeah. So now I remember that. I've Googled this fact, and there is a dispute on that. I'm pretty sure that somebody else says that they're older than them. But hey, you know what? Each their own.
All right.
Yuengling beer is good. I will give them that. But it's just, you know, it's American beer.
Booyah.
Black and tan, as it sits right now, it's good. Like I say, I just think it's a light porter. I mean,
Yeah. You kind of get that hint of dark, that mellow sort of coffee flavor that you get with a lot of those. It definitely has like a creamier texture to it. If that's how I want to describe it. One thing I love about tasting stuff is it's all fucking in what you think. You know?
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna tell me you're wrong. Well, look, that's what I taste.
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, I would agree with you. Like you said, the coffee flavor, kind of that little bit of coffee. You got that cream to it. That's it. I mean, that's what I'm tasting.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Cody, what do you rate this?
to me, it's trying to be a sweet Guinness.
Yeah.
And I would way rather have a Guinness over this. Would I buy it at the store? No. So I'm gonna give it, but it's good. It's decent. No, I'm gonna stick 4 out of 10.
4. Wow.
4 out of 10. It's decent, but for what this beer should be,
Yeah.
it's lacking.
You're probably better off just getting a real black and tan from a bar instead of this one already mixed up.
Yeah, and I'd never order a black and tan either.
Yeah,
It
no.
sounds like the goofy thing. Give me a light beer and then some dark beer on top. What?
Make it look like layers so I look cool. Yeah.
Who did that? It sounds like a gimmick at a bar that caught on. You know what I mean? Like a college bar, like, ooh, give me that black and tan. Because I need my beer heavy, but then I need to finish smooth.
I'm gonna kind of agree with you on that. Like, it's not. Would I buy it again? Probably not. Like, I'm never just gonna go to the store and be like, oh, you know, it sounds good again at Yuengling Black and Tan.
Yeah.
But if I show up at a party and it's there, I'm not gonna be upset. Like, I'll still drink a lot of it.
Right.
But even if I did buy it for myself, probably 6-pack at most. Like, I'm not gonna be slugging these on the weekend or, you know, golf outing or boating and shit. I'm not gonna pack the cooler full of this shit.
No.
But just for the flavor, for the way it tastes and everything, I'm still gonna give it a thumbs up. Because on my scale where you're at, it's like maybe a sideways thumb, but I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because it still does taste good.
Oh, sorry, I got cramp in my leg.
I was wondering. Cody's like picking me. I'm sitting there thinking, like, what am I doing wrong? Like,
I just got a cramp in my underleg and it just like locked me up straight to the steep.
Charlie horse.
Right to the leg.
Charlie horse.
Woo! All right. What'd you give it?
I gave it a thumbs up because it still does taste good. For the flavor, it's good. But like I said, I'd buy other things over this, but I'm still gonna give it thumbs up instead of the half. Because you're like if on my rating scale, you gave it like a half, but I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
I think for me, and I'm pretty critical of beer. I'm not the biggest beer drinker. I'm gonna just get that out there. I mean, I'll have my light beers, and every now and again I'll have a beer. As you've gotten older, I can have a beer now with dinner, and it doesn't freak me out. But as far as this goes, for me, I kind of ask myself the question, could I drink, like you said, I'll take a 6-pack. I think about this beer, and it's like, I could drink this around October. I mean, I've had Oktoberfest beer, and I don't like it. But this has got that dark flavor. I could see sitting around, like, hanging out at a campfire, having a 6-pack of these, and I could probably hammer out about 4 of them.
Yeah.
So I would give it, on my scale, I'd give it a 6. Okay. I like it. This is kind of up my alley. Like I said, it's kind of got that light flavor to it. It's not too heavy and not too dark, which is kind of in my wheelhouse. So I'm gonna give it a 6. I like it.
I definitely like what you're saying. The whole, it's almost got its time and place. Like I'd rather drink this whenever it's cooler.
Yeah.
You got your hoodie on. You're sitting around a fire.
Yeah.
You're trying to stay a little warm, but you don't need it.
When you want to slow things down a little bit, you don't have to. You're not pounding them.
Wait.
And you're tired of all that pumpkin spice shit.
Booyah.
You get 6 out of what? So we got to measure.
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I'm sorry, I did not clear that up.
I was using my scale, Steve.
Wait, was it? Wait, this way? Is that what? So I mean, if it was, you had a thumbs up, and then I'll go this.
No,
I gotta go both ways.
Here's the thing that normally happens.
Naturally, you got it
from the beginning. From the beginning of the show, and you've watched the show, you know that the rating system is never the same.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for you to say like 6 points on a buck.
I'm pretty sure
out of a 10-point buck.
I'm pretty sure if you look back at every episode, mine's always stayed the same.
Mine's changed a little bit. But I metaphored.
I think the 10 scale is the most traditional, well-honored scale there is in the world.
Yeah, I like more of a broad kind of like, do you like it or you don't kind of thing.
You go you go into the hospital. What do they have? A 0 to 10 scale. What's your pain level?
You watch YouTube videos that thumbs up, thumb down.
I like that. I mean, movies with thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah.
Movies, we don't rate them on.
Well, I'm not mainstream, so.
Hotels are 5 stars. Like, I mean, nobody has a legit
well, that's even better.
Scale.
5 stars. It's not 5 out of 10 stars.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
It's 5 out of 1 out.
So then,
of
I mean, if we all had a uniform scale, what is it? So nobody knows. These people are watching and they're listening and they're going, well, what does that mean?
It's
so this is the first time somebody's conformed to one of our systems. That is like, that's what we're saying.
Maybe. Well, the Aries thing. Me and you are Aries. We probably have some.
We scale the same way. Look, I'm making a black and
tan. That's all it is. Yeah.
And I'm an asparagus, so I'm just different.
You're asparagus?
You don't know memes. You don't know memes. It's a fucking meme. They're like,
no, I don't know memes at all.
The one meme is like an astrology chick will smash her car into a tree, and I'm an asparagus, so it just happens.
Gotcha.
Steve, I think the proper term is memes.
Memes, yes.
I'm sorry, no, you're right.
Memes or memes.
No,
that's
true.
Is it GIF? Is it GIF? Is that? I mean, my gosh.
The creator of the GIF says it should be pronounced GIF, but GIF is
That's
J-I-F.
peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I disagree. It's peanut butter.
Yeah, I always call them GIFs.
I do too, buddy.
Spread it on thick, baby.
Spread them GIFs on and spread that GIF on.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you watch the show. I am not a memes person.
A memes. I like it.
He's not a memes or meme. He doesn't like the memes.
Memes person. I'm not memes. I'm not in your memes.
And I have an addiction to memes and internet.
Oh, it's the best. That's what the internet's good for. That's the one thing it's good for.
Dude, that'll be a fun bit sometime is to pull up our phones and see what apps we use the most, what has the most screen time.
Oh, you're going to find Instagram right off the top, sir.
Mine's iFunny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I get it. Cody's is Chrome incognito mode. there's probably some work app that gets a little more screen time, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, he's like, no, it's probably still.
It's you're right.
You
got me.
Chrome.
My wife's gonna be like, "What the hell?"
All right, well, so that's our take on the Yuengling Black and Tan. When we close out the show, we'll taste the Buckeye vodka.
Buckeye. OH.
I-O.
There we go.
Faux show.
Take that step. Love you.
But so
I love the babies.
Save myself there. Sorry. So for this last segment here, we're gonna kind of get into Bryant's wheelhouse here because we're going to talk about collections, and he is a collector of certain things. We'll just go ahead and kick it off with you, and maybe if it's not the one that I'm thinking of, the gist of it is we're going to get into our favorite things that we either collected as a child or either collected as a child still now, or now you're getting into now that you're an adult. So top us off. What do you like to collect?
So, buddy, I've been bit by the comic bug hard.
Yeah,
it is. It has opened up a whole new realm of depleting my bank account, but in a very fun way.
Sure.
So it's something that I've just started doing here for, I'd say, the last 2 years, maybe. Just kind of one of those things that it was like, I always liked watching the movies and stuff. When you're a kid, that's what you like the superhero stuff and. And
not to interrupt you, but I feel like you were into the superhero stuff. Like, because I remember talking to you, and you were like, "Oh, did you see that the new this movie or the new Iron Man?" And I was like, I wasn't into any of that shit at that point. I'm like, no, I haven't. I don't know, dude. Like,
it's not for everybody. It's not. I mean, it's some people come in late. Steve.
Well, that's the thing. Once I started watching them, I fucking love them. And I keep repeating them now. Like I like them so much. But yeah, so
loop them.
But you weren't collecting comic books back then. You just liked
Nope. It's funny. Like I remember being a kid, and when Jurassic Park came out, and there was like I don't know if it was Walden Books at the time in Newtown Mall. Like I remember going in there, and they had a Jurassic Park comic.
I've got all four of them.
Get everything that had Jurassic Park on it at the time when you're a kid, and it's like you look at that, and I could read it, but I just like you don't understand how to follow it. A comic book when you're reading it is way different than reading a standard book, so it can totally trip you up. Because I do both. I like to go get modern comics and I'll read modern comics.
Yeah.
But the collecting side is its own other monster, I guess you'd say. But I started doing it about 2 years ago. It's a blast. I love it.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is when people think of comic books too, they might just think of like your Marvel or your DC, your Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man. If you go into a comic book store, like a legit comic book store, you will find something that you will be interested in. There's horror genres, there's sci-fi, there's all this different stuff, which is really cool. It really opens up once you dive down that hole, you find out what it's really all about.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
you got a pretty decent collection going on now?
Working on it.
Yeah.
My forte is I really like to get into it's known as the Silver Age. So we're talking like 60s comics.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But that is when, for the most part, when Stan Lee took over, like he had Marvel Comics with Jack Kirby. So those two, I mean, I guess you would consider they're the kind of big ones. Kind of, yeah. They're the boys.
Yeah.
So it's fun to get in there and see that stuff, and I love Silver Age. I'll get into anything, but Silver Age is really, when it comes to the collecting side, that's what I really like to get into.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But how many comics do you think you have?
Oh, well, if we're talking as far as PC, as I like to say, the personal collection, we're talking, I have a short box, so I probably have somewhere around myself, I probably have about 30 books. And the fun thing is, though, what's really cool is with comics, too, my wife's got into it.
Yeah.
Like, she's not, like, super hard. She wasn't, like, super hardcore into it, I guess, but, like, you get into it, you start finding something again that's personal to you. You find something you're into, and you're like, this is cool. This is some different art. Whether it's the art, whether it's the story, it can hit a person differently.
Right.
So she got into it, and then oddly enough, my kids got into it. They went to their first con here a couple weeks ago, and it was a blast. So I have about 30. I think Chrissy has maybe somewhere around like 20 or so. She's got in our short box that we have in the personal collection.
Yeah.
Because there's books you buy and then like you absolutely keep. And then there's books you buy, you read, and then you're just like, hey, I'm going to give these to the library or I'm going to sell them. So,
But like the ones you keep, you probably never even read even.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I've broke them open a little bit, but you boy, if
do you have any that you've never opened?
There is, I would say 2 that I have not cracked. Like I've because of the grade they're currently in, I don't want to touch them.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to do any damage if I happen to try to take it out. It's so easy. When you have a book, it's in typically a board in a bag unless you have it in what's called a slab, which is like a protective case. So with you got to be careful when you take those books out. If a tape gets stuck to it, you want to know like super. I dropped a book one time. It fell in its corner. It damaged the book. So I learned a valuable lesson.
And then you immediately punched yourself in the dick.
Yep, exactly. Remember this day forever, Bryant.
Yeah, dude, that's cool. I know when I was a kid, I did some comics. Like I said, you were talking about the Jurassic Park ones. I've got all 4. There were more super rare ones that I was a kid, I didn't know, but there's like rarer ones. And then I think I just got the standard ones. I priced them out. They're not worth much, but like they're worth more than I paid for them.
Yeah.
I think what else? Beavis and Butthead had a comic at one point. I think I've got a couple of those. And then just random shit. Probably had some like Batmans or something. But I liked it whenever I was a kid, and we always like tried to go and like get more stuff. And then it's just kind of one of those ones that when you're a kid, you're just. This is my interest now, but no, this week, this is what I want. But yeah, comic books are fucking dope.
I had a big binder.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it is now today.
Holy
I
shit.
thought it was at my mom's. It's not there anymore. Obviously, who knows if she got rid of it. I thought maybe I took it to her buddies, but he doesn't recollect where it went. I don't know where it went.
Yeah.
But I had a big binder of comic stuff, and I had books and I had cards. X-Men.
Yep, there you go.
X-Men cards.
All X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, I had holographics in there. I had like all kinds of like really good cards.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You were a Cyclops guy, right?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Cyclops guy. Yeah. Leader of the team. I was a Leonardo fan too, so apparently I just like to be a leader or something.
The captain of the ship.
I want to follow, so I like the leaders.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but anyways, I liked Cyclops, and I actually had the comic. And if you know X-Men, Cyclops and Jean Grey, I had when they got married. I had that comic, and it was pretty much a rare comic.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's worth today. I think the last time I looked it up, it was worth like $120.
Oh shit!
For the comic, and I don't know what it's worth today. But
X-Men's on fire right now, Cody. Just to tell you,
I know, and I don't know where my cards and anything of that went. I don't think my mom threw it away. I think I lost it in the shuffle of being a kid and growing up, and who knows what happened to it. But it was like a rare comic because something was different about I don't know what it was. And I had a card that was a holographic card. It was also worth I looked it up because it's got like all the X-Men on it. It's like a gold foil like holographic card. It was like crazy. Lost all that. So don't be Googling this, Steve, and give me some bad news. Oh, see, that's not bad.
X-Men, The Wedding of Jean Grey and Scott Summers, issue 30, 1994, volume 1. It's currently on sale for $19.98. You can get it back.
Who wrote that book? who was the writer or penciler on that book?
By Fabian Nicizia and Andy Kubert.
Okay. But there's
Andy Kubert was the illustrator.
Kubert was great. Yep.
There's 2 different versions of that, and I don't know. But anyways.
Yeah, because whenever I just did broad, I saw a couple different art covers. So
yeah, I used to have X-Men was my jam. I loved the arcade game, but I also collected comics when I was a kid, and like watched the show and like all that stuff. That was one of my bigger cards. Besides then, Magic the Gathering happened, and then I got into that phase a bit, and the collectibles there too. But just to touch on your comics. And then I also bought a lot of different comics. But I will tell you the one thing that I missed out on, and if you were there, you would have lost your goddamn mind, was I went to this auction a few years back. I'm talking like maybe 2 years back, 3 years back. Well, this auction, there was this older gentleman, probably in his 70s, 80s, that auctioned all stuff. This guy used to just go and buy all the new hot toys and comics. his entire life. He had an attic full of them. He put them in an auction house, and I shit you not, this auction house was full of comics. They had one room set aside for comics and boxes. I'm sure there were some gems in there.
Yeah.
And then a whole other room full of toys. And he had so many like Matchbox cars, the biggest ones I liked. He had Ninja Turtles. He had all this other stuff. It filled up like you could fill up a gymnasium. The amount of stuff this guy had. He had no idea what he had.
So he had his own Comic Con going on in the attic.
Yeah, but this thing went online too. So I was bidding online for it, but it was in Carrollton, Ohio, so not far from us. I spent $300. My buddy that knows like Ninja Turtles and all that stuff and comics more, he spent like $2,000. He doesn't even have that money. He spent it, but I spent $300. I ended up making $3,000 out of it. He spent, I don't know how much money he made. I mean, there was original like Ninja Turtles in packages. There was like boxes of comics.
Some of those books are worth thousands right now. Yeah. Like they're hot.
This was the once in a lifetime thing, and there's people online bidding though. That was the only problem because they're buying up like most of it, just buying most of it up because they knew the value.
It's funny because I think that some people when they hear about comic book collecting, they're kind of like, really? Like you're an adult? Yeah, you're a nerd. Listen, if you look at the dollar signs on what is happening with this stuff,
even cards anymore, like baseball cards and football, like sports cards fell off. But there's a huge upbringing now. Like with collector's cards, it's nuts. I just heard a podcast with Tom Segura and a football player named Cassius Marsh, and he started a website called like Cash Cards something, whatever. You can probably Google Cassius Marsh, but he's like, I make more off of that than I do in the NFL.
Yep.
Like,
I'm sure. Listen, there are people out there that they just flip books. They'll literally go in, they'll look for garage sales. Like that's where you're going to find the gems. You're not going to find them in a shop or a Comic Con.
Yeah, because
you got to go to an auction. You got to go to a flea market. You got to go to something like that because those people are just there. They have the stuff.
Yeah.
And who's going there to go look through that? Smart people technically. But I mean, I remember reading a story about a guy who was like, he found, my Grail, the book that Bryant wants to own, that it's just probably not going to happen because it's outpriced itself in the market, is a Hulk 181. That's the first appearance of Wolverine.
Yeah.
But it's the dopest cover. I love that cover. It's just so classic. It's a hot cover. There was a guy who went in there, and the guy that was selling the book had no idea the value of it. But this guy went in, he saw it, and then he almost couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
He went back out and he's like, hey, listen, he's like, I think I found this book. Here's the sticker price on it. Well, at the same time that he went out and he was like trying to figure this out, this other guy goes in and he's like, hey, listen, he's like, I'm going to pay you $200 over what this book's worth. And even then it was just pennies compared to what its value is.
Right.
So other guy goes back in and he's like, listen, he goes in and it's kind of like it starts into this bidding war.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it, that book is probably somewhere, I don't know. I mean, if you have a good high grade copy, which that's a big thing too, is you got to know the grade of the copy. You could have a bad copy or a high grade copy, but I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars. They're haggling over, $100 here, $100 there because they know the value's there. So that guy that's sitting there that's selling the book, he's like, I'm making some money off of this, but he's like, he had no idea what he had.
Right. Once people start throwing money around, you go, I'm gonna back off.
Right.
Hang on 1 second, give me that back.
The guy he still sold the book though. I mean, let me
learn how to use Google now.
Right.
Steve, we've been talking about comics for a while. What's your biggest collectible?
I'm gonna go with, and it's one I've collected other things, but it's one that I still currently have my collection of that I started and I've backed out of it since. But Magic the Gathering, I still have my Magic the Gathering collection. Apparently, they've gone into newer editions now, so like a lot of my stuff isn't even playable in like leagues and shit. But I played the fuck out of it whenever I was a kid. Like I loved playing Magic the Gathering. Like it was fun to do, and I'm sure like grading wise, because I played them all, they're probably not worth much if they get graded, but there might be some hidden gems in there. I don't know. I'm just going to leave them in a box and not touch them for a while.
Right. Yep.
I feel like there's about 20 of our viewers that just shut off and said, "No!"
I know. Oh gosh.
We're gonna
listen. Go ahead. Go ahead. Don't get into comic book collecting. I'm telling you that right now. Don't do it.
We're gonna lose a lot of you. But yeah, or maybe should we talk about some other like? I want to get into car collecting.
No, we're not talking about what we want to get into. No, that's fine. I mean,
well,
I want to get into money collecting. I just want to collect money.
Yes. It's funny you said Magic the Gathering. It's funny. I got a buddy who played that game pretty serious, and he was in some leagues, won some stuff, you know, like locally and stuff like that. And we were doing a Christmas exchange, so I went and bought him a pack of cards. And so get him the cards, drop them off. He didn't open them. I don't think he opened them then when we were there. I don't think he did, but he called me after we had went home, and he's like, dude, I've got a several $100 card sitting right here in my deck that you guys got me. We bought the deck for like $7.
Right.
I'm like, well, shit, I'm taking it back. Like, give me the card, dude. I could use that. No, but it was cool because he's like, man, I could make some money on that. I could get into, you know, do some other games and stuff like that. I can enter some tournaments with that. Like, it's crazy.
Well, even that, that's like the gift when you give somebody scratchy lottos. It's like
you want to punch them in the face when they win.
Yeah, here's $20 worth of scratchers. You're probably not going to win anything. Like, I got $10,000. Like, I fucking hate you.
That's why I say. That's why I say if you win over $1,000, I want 10%.
Yeah.
You know, that way if they hit that, you know, that $50,000, I'm like, all right, at least I get $5,000.
Buy me a steak dinner, dude.
$500, whatever. Get your money back.
We do a fun thing at work where we'll do it's called a impossible shot. We tie up a ping pong ball to a string, and we stand back at about 20 yards, and we shoot. It's called a Genesis bow. It's kind of like a youth bow. It's got no sight on it, nothing. I mean, you just put the arrow on the bow, and you're shooting 20 yards at a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
Right? This is my deal. Several people have won. I think the highest we've ever got to is $700. If I pull your arrows or I'm helping you in any way, I at least am getting like $5 out of this. Like if I'm helping you, there's a finder's fee here.
Yeah. But yeah, mine was Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, I had those back in the day. Me and Tyler Tutton, bitch back here, and I don't think we ever played the right rules, but we just made up our own game.
Yeah, because it is complicated.
It was close to it, I think.
Yeah,
it was a little bit different,
and I swear,
a little more forgiving.
I was talking to this kid, and he's like, the newer ones, like you do this and you do that. I'm like, man, it doesn't seem. I feel like back in the day when I was playing, you had to roll dice. You still had to roll dice, and I forget what it dictated. Like I all of it's gone. I don't remember how to play it all. But I guess the newer decks, like the newer sets, you don't even have to roll shit. It's just more on like you get these bonus cards that allow you to draw more out of your deck and then play things differently, and everything has rules. And he showed me an app that like you can just do it all on an app right now. And you don't get the fun of collecting the cards, but you get the fun of playing the game, and it figures everything out for you. But like you literally had to sit there and like, okay, I'm gonna play this and turn this mana, and I can attack with this, and like, okay, so that one has 4 damage, this one does 6, so you could that card you can take that card off, like, and then like you got to sit there and like do math in your head, and, like, and strategery and like all this other bullshit. Like it can get intense, and you kind of have to delve into it with the strategy and shit. But playing it was fun. Collecting it was kind of fun because you were always looking for that killer fucking card, and like this bitch will wipe you out.
Yeah. So when you were opening up like your decks, was it like you knew you had that card? Like did you ever get that feeling like when you open it up, you're like, yeah, this is it. This is a good deck. I forget what the fucking card was, but it had this like big red like demon thing on it, and it dealt like 20 damage, and like I forget something. I knew it was a big card, and I remember getting it priced later, and it was worth like $20. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's my dude. And I don't, maybe it's, but somebody's even told me like those older decks have kind of depreciated in value because everybody's using the newer ones and everybody's collecting the newer ones. But I'm still waiting, like maybe it goes retro. Give it time. Everything's in time.
Yeah, it's cyclical. It'll get retro back to those first prints. They'll start reprinting them. And like, I got an OG one, motherfucker. OG.
Yeah. Yep. Give it time. That's the thing. Time. It might not be anything now, but man, you give it a little bit of time, it'll eventually find its way.
Right, and that's here's a tip to anybody out there: if you're buying your kids Pokemon cards, buy a pack for yourself when you do it, and just put it away.
You got it.
Like my kids have opened up a bunch of packs, and they've gotten a bunch for birthdays and shit. And some of them they put in their binder. I got an app on my phone that I scan them, and like Henry's got like a $50 Bulbasaur. No, I don't quote. I have no idea what it was. But one I scanned was like $50. Some of them are like 20s, and it's like, shit, that's fucking awesome. Like even that's like hella profit, you know?
Yeah.
You can sell some of those packs like a complete unopened pack.
Yeah.
There might not be a card in
Right.
it, but it's completely unopened. That whole pack.
And
Is
somebody
like
might think
$10,000 for that OG Pokemon card or that original. You know, like it doesn't matter because it's an open. There could be a $10,000 card in there, and they don't know that.
Exactly.
So, or it could be bullshit.
Yep.
So
it's just like a lottery ticket.
Yeah,
you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, but there's probably value. But
yeah. Did we talk about your collection yet?
Oh no, we did not.
Well, you touched on comics.
With the comics, but yeah,
I pretty much touched on it.
What besides comics and Magic? What do you have any other big collections?
Not a whole lot.
No.
I mean, we touched on that. I like personally right now. I don't own any big collections of anything.
Right.
I mean, I have a lot of knives, but I think a lot of people have knives. I have a lot of pocket knives, which is weird, but that was from my ex. Her dad gave me a lot of pocket knives. And I have a lot of humidors.
I think you mentioned for the toy auction. You mentioned for the toy auction the Hot Wheels. Did you ever have a lot of those growing up?
No, I don't like Hot Wheels.
Oh, really? I thought you said like. Never mind. I thought I heard you say like
they had a lot of Hot Wheels at the auction, but they had a shitload of Hot Wheels at the auction.
Toys are something that like I don't really quite understand. Like there's some stuff that's like super valuable. But
I sold a Sesame Street Janice, who Janice played the guitar in Sesame Street Muppets, in the Muppets.
Oh, from the band?
Yeah, I sold that for $160.
Jesus.
Yeah. Toys are crazy.
I don't know who Janice is, but yeah, it's crazy. Somebody bought it for $160. I bought a lot of Dragon Ball Z toys. Those sold for bank.
Dragon Ball Z's dope.
I sold a lot. I started Googling the toys as soon as they came up, and I got one, and I didn't know the price value of it because I couldn't find it anywhere, so I put it up for a ridiculous price, and it sold. It took me a month to sell it. And it sold for about $100 less than I was asking it, but it was good. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And it was just a But then you start Googling these toys, and then you look at these people, and they have like a room, and they want every single one.
Yeah.
They want to fill their room with all these dragons. And, you know, it's worth a lot of money to them for whatever reason. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know. Material girl living in a material world, you know, type of situation. But I get it and I don't get it, you know.
So then let's change the pace here then. Was there, besides, because you said the comic books and the X-Men cards that you don't know where they're at, was there any toy collection or a bunch of things that you played with that you had, like, you know, like all the Ninja Turtles, you had all the G.I. Joes or something? Is there anything that you had that you wished you would have just kept in the box because you'd be sitting on a gold mine right now?
Besides everything you just said?
Yeah, well, besides the X-Men comics and the cards. Or did you have like a lot of X-Men toys?
Oh, video game systems, 100%.
Oh, video game shit?
If I had an OG Nintendo in box, like not touched, that'd be that was worth a lot of money. What else would be worth a lot of money? Yeah, that's all I got.
Pretty much all your old video game shit?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about some of those old games and stuff. Like, we had so many, and now I'm over it.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I don't buy a physical disc anymore. I just download it.
Have you been up to the Exchange at all up in Belton Village at all lately? Like, I like to go in there and I like to see, like, I remember when I wanted to buy, I was looking just like last year because Bristol started getting into Super Mario, and we got a Switch for a short amount of time, and then we kind of sent it back. We did it through like a rent like errands or something like that.
Right.
And then she loved Super Mario. Like, she just wanted to play Super Mario. I'm like, gosh, I can't pay for a Switch right now.
Right.
So I had a Nintendo 64. And I remember playing Super Mario 64, and I loved it. And I'm like, this was the best game ever, maybe next to 007 at the time.
Right.
But, you know, she wanted to get into that. I'm like, I'll Google, I'll buy Super Mario 64. No. So I remember it was probably like $60 brand new back in like 95 or whatever it was when it came out. Yeah. And then you look at it, and like, you find copies from Mario, anything with the name Mario on it for the Nintendo 64, you're looking like $180 right now.
I think OG Mario Kart costs you like $120 right now.
Yeah, because that's just collector's items. A lot of that shit nowadays, and Steam, or Valve's coming out with a Steam tablet, and if you don't know what Steam is, it's how you play video games on your computer. So
one of the platforms.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. But basically, you can buy them through there, and you have to run them through Steam. So you have to be online. But they're coming out with this tablet that's not a tablet, but it looks like a Nintendo Switch that you can run emulators on. So you can play every single PlayStation game ever, all the Nintendo games. You're doing it illegally, but I think it's going to drop for like $250, $300, which is steep, but then you play free games.
Yeah.
Just play all
until that shit gets shut down. But yeah, go.
Emulators never get shut down. It's basically still a PC, but it's a handheld PC.
No, emulators get shut down.
Well, then you download the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they're all still out there.
And they run hacky and choppy. But yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I will say, I mean, any original stuff is going to last forever. And when we're like 60, we're going to be wanting that stuff. So like, keep your old things. But now I download everything because my thought is, and a lot of people don't think about this, is I download everything on my account, right? I get free games on Xbox, all this, blah, 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 blah. I just sell my account.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 10,000 games. Do you want access to my account?
There's a whole world of literally.
You can sell the account.
Why can't you? I mean, it's just linked to your email.
Maybe
I
don't know. That's crazy.
There's a whole world of people out there that make money off of doing like really good at Call of Duty, and they level them up so much and unlock all the guns and shit, and then they sell that account.
That's how far out of the gaming.
And so then, me being a noob, like I want to look like I'm good. Yeah. So now I'm like level 10 prestige. I've got all the gold guns, all the skins unlocked and shit. So I can go out there looking like a fucking rock star. Still suck ass.
Yeah.
But like you can level people up and sell your account.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yep. It happened.
World of Warcraft does that shit.
That was
too.
basically the start of it. World of Warcraft's basically the start of it. Because World of Warcraft so long ago is people would level somebody up, get them to the max level, gear them out, sell the account for like a few $100 or $1,000 or whatever. Sell them account. Here's a fully geared rogue or whatever it was. We'll sell you this account. And people are so lazy but have disposable income and be like,
cool. That's exactly what you said. That's lazy, dude. Like
they'd rather just start out with the good shit.
When I play a game, I like you know, whatever you're doing, if you learn how to play it, and then once you finally figure it out and you're doing good, you're like, damn, yes, I did that. It's not you didn't buy your way to it. I mean,
and a lot of these games too, like World of Warcraft and others, where you collect weapon sets and armor sets, and they have different abilities and shit, and a lot of them are so rare that it takes you hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to finally find these things. People don't want to put in those mega hours. They're like, you know what, I want that guy with that set, so it'll be easier for me to just buy it.
I guess
I got the money. Who cares?
It's a different mindset. I mean, that's a different mindset for sure.
We're not going to do that, but that happens all the time.
Right.
No, I believe you. I mean, it's to find the shortcut to everything. I mean, that's what today is.
Exactly.
But
so as far as collectibles go, I mean, I think we kind of touched on it at Comic Cards today. The only one I might add to that is Pogs.
Yeah, I had so many Pogs. That's one that I don't know where that collection is. Maybe I just need to go digging through my parents' stuff a little deeper.
I think I got thrown away. I had a Pog maker.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is most of my Pogs weren't like the actual brand name Pogs. They were the ones you'd get, like, grab handfuls for $5 at a fucking flea market or whatever. But I did have all the Apollo 13 ones that Hardy's had.
Yep, I did too.
It came with like the rocket ship that you put together for the Pog holder and shit. Fuck yeah, dude.
I had like Michael Jordan ones. Yeah. But it was the Pogs were cool. But you know what was cooler? The Slammer.
The fucking Slammer.
Get that Slammer, son.
Yeah.
Oh man, that needs to make a comeback because I would probably play that.
Dude,
I'd probably do that.
Play Pogs right now.
I'd love it. That's it. Let's do Pogs sometime.
Yeah, I had the ability to do like a picture and put it on a Pog, so you could literally like put your face in the Pog. Dude, I was so big into Pogs. I had like 12 tubes of Pogs.
And that was the hard part about it, is you'd always play with your least favorites, because whatever one's turned over, the other player got to keep.
Yeah.
Like you're just
people play for keeps when it comes to Pogs, guys. If you've not played Pogs yet, it was play for keeps.
It's play for keeps.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Pogs are dope. Those were so fun.
But yeah, so I think that's about it for collectibles.
One quick question. One quick question. If you had unlimited income, what would you collect?
Chef knives.
Chef knives? Yeah. If you had unlimited income.
Old motorcycles, vintage motorcycles.
Dude.
It has to be. It's my love.
Fuck yeah. Because I'd go cars.
I love comics, but man, old vintage motorcycles.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be dope.
I
But
want like some ancient chef
So
knives,
click-
like with a badass blade.
click like and subscribe. Share us with your friends. Get us more views so we can get some ad revenue, and then we have disposable income, and we can talk. We can talk about our awesome collections then. But yeah, no, seriously. Do you want to plug like your Instagram or anything?
I mean, you can find me at Bryant_Lyon. You can see all my nerdiness and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and we'll tag you on the Facebook and all that fun stuff. So
it works.
give him a follow if you don't know him. He's a cool guy. As always, all of our shit's gonna be here. I'll post his shit up here too. Click all the buttons, do all the things.
Let's try some Buckeye vodka.
Let's try some vodka.
How about it?
Buckeye vodka.
Cheers.
So, distilled and bottled by Crystal Springs LLC, Dayton, Ohio.
Out of Dayton.
Local. I can tell.
Feeling that tingle on the tongue.
Yeah, it's actually not bad. It's smoother than like a low class vodka.
I've had worse.
Yes,
Definitely.
There's-
I'm not a vodka guy, but I've had worse.
there's definitely worse vodka out there.
It rocks the Buckeyes. I enjoy it.
That's
So,
right.
That's smooth. Would you rate it?
I don't think we ever rate the.
We're doing it now. We have before. Sometimes we forget, but we're doing it now.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs down.
Oh.
I'm gonna do the switch, but I gotta go thumbs down. I hate vodka.
It's not
just,
about-
it's
yeah.
just not feeling it.
Nothing against the product.
Yeah, nothing against the product. I'm not a vodka guy. It's
Okay.
It's just like drinking rubbing alcohol to me.
Brian, I got one question for you.
You got it, Cody. What can I answer for you?
Did you have a damn good time?
I had a damn good time.
Steve?
I had a damn good time. How
All
about
right.
you, Cody?
I had a damn good time.
All
And
right.
With that,
Cheers, boys.
I think we cheers it out.
We love you guys.
Hey, thanks
the
for having
next
me
one.
on, guys. I appreciate it. It's fun.
No problem.
Anytime.
Check you later.